States challenging Obamacare and immigration executive action. He is a lieutenant colonel in our Guard service and has served one tour of duty in Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the South Carolina Attorney General, Mr. Alan Wilson.
I told my staff that I wouldn't be able to draw this bigger crowd, so thank y'all for helping me prove them wrong today. All of you came here to see me, right? Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, Aiken, South Carolina. We're so glad to have you. Are you guys fired up? Good. I'm excited because as Attorney General, I've spent the last 5 years fighting the overreach of the federal government, not only trying to protect the citizens of my state, to keep our communities safe so that you can live, work, and raise your families, but to keep the federal government in its proper place. We have a president right now who does not respect the role that our Constitution plays in the administration of government. We need a president that respects the rule of law, and I think today we're going to hear from someone who respects the rule of law. What do y'all think? My job today, in talking to all of you, is to basically give a forum for Mr. Trump to be able to tell his vision for America and how he plans as President of the United States to support the rule of law, support the Constitution, both state and federal, and to protect the individual liberties of our citizens. That is why we're here today. I'm honored and privileged to have partnered with the Conservative Leadership Project to do these forums, to educate people on the role of the Constitution and what the next President of the United States should be doing as opposed to the one we got now. So if you want to know more about these forums, go to CLP Forums or Google Conservative Leadership Project. You can also watch this event in its entirety if you want to go back and continue to educate yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, in a couple of weeks, South Carolina is going to play a role in electing the next President of the United States. So now, I know you want me to keep talking, but I'm going to go ahead and sit down because I think there's somebody else who's waiting right behind that curtain who you want to hear from.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the great state of South Carolina, stand up as we prepare to take back our country and welcome the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. I hope you're clapping for Alan, not me, right?
We know better.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trump, for being here. It is great to have you in Aiken, South Carolina, and you can tell the enthusiasm in the crowd is palpable, and people are so excited about you and your candidacy, and they're really excited to hear what your plans are for our country. So I'll go ahead and take a couple minutes just to kick it off, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank everybody in South Carolina. We've done so. I love you too. We've done. I mean, I've been here so much over the last really 2-year period, but before that also, and it's a special place, special people. But you know, Alan, no matter where I go, all over the country, it's people that are incredible people that want to see us make America great again. I mean, that's what we're all doing, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what we're all doing, and so important. And I'm self-funding my own campaign. I'm not asking for millions of dollars from all these guys. Every one of these guys, they're putting in millions and millions of dollars, and you know what that means. That means that whoever gives the money has plenty of control over the people, and I'm not doing that. So we're going to do a real job. The poll numbers have been phenomenal. You've seen them all over the country. They've been phenomenal. And by the way, in South Carolina, they've been beyond phenomenal. They've really been good. So I just want to thank you. We're all friends, and we're all looking for the same thing. We're looking to work hard and do a great job, and we just want to do something fantastic for our country. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of leaders, and one in particular that's doing a horrible, horrible job. A horrible job. So, good.
I think they want the volume
You need
turned up.
volume? Volume? Yeah.
Volume.
Turn up the volume, sure. How's your speaker system? Is it good? Is the volume good? Turn up the volume.
Turn up the volume.
Up.
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 Can y'all hear in the back? No, they can't hear. They're waving.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, okay.
Isn't that better? See, now the difference between me and a politician other than Alan is that I wouldn't pay the first contractor. I said, you did a lousy job, we're not going to pay you, right? Whereas a politician will pay them 100 cents on the dollar, even though their system was no good. All right, this sounds better. Is that good up there? Can you hear us? All right. I think we should start all over again then, right? I said before that the people of South Carolina have been amazing. The people of the country have been amazing. You know, they used to use the word silent majority, and then for some reason that word went out of vogue a little bit. But I don't even need that, because the words that we really use now, Alan, you've been hearing it, is sort of the noisy majority. People are so enthused, and they're so energetic, and it's been so incredible. No matter, I went to Mobile, Alabama, 35,000 people. Oklahoma, 20,000. Dallas, Texas, the Mavericks Arena packed, 20,000 people. No matter where we go, it's incredible. And the level of enthusiasm for our country, it's not even me, it's for the country, is so incredible. So thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
You know, Mr. Trump, we were in the back just talking a few moments ago, and what was striking to me is he said that he's not looking for endorsements from politicians and famous folks. So he's really looking for your endorsement. But I just read recently that Franklin Graham, the son of Billy Graham, said some extremely complimentary things, and it's amazing the diversity of people who are talking about you around the country.
Well, we have so many people that have, and I'm not looking for the endorsements. You know, endorsements, when you get somebody like Franklin Graham, who I have such respect for Franklin and for his family, and for Billy Graham. Billy Graham is, you know, I'd go to the Crusades. It was incredible. It was just incredible.
Yeah, I did too.
But Franklin Graham said such incredible things yesterday, and I just appreciated that. But we get a lot of endorsements. I don't ask for endorsements. I would say somebody like Franklin and others mean a lot, but honestly, generally speaking, I think endorsements don't mean that much. It's what you say. It's your track record. You know, I've built a great, great company. It's been amazing. If you remember when I did the filings, they were so disappointed. They said, wow, this is an unbelievable company. Everybody was going, you know, very little debt, tremendous income, the best assets, some of the greatest assets in the world. And everybody was extremely disappointed because they thought, oh, gee. But the fact, and the reason I tell you that, and it's so important, is that we need that thinking in terms of running our country. We have $19 trillion in debt. And it's a mindset. You know, it's just a mindset. These people don't know what they're doing. And now they did this horrible budget that was just approved a week ago. It took them, what, 2 hours to approve a budget of the biggest budget ever. And we're going to need another $2 trillion. So the 19, which is really 19, not 18. It was 18 a short while ago. Now it's 19. It's going to go up to 21. And it's just out of control. The country's out of control. If you look at everything we do, and we're going to get to some pretty interesting questions and pretty detailed questions on Constitution and other things, but you look at everything we do. We make an Iran deal. We give these terrorists, I mean, it's a terror nation. We give them $150 billion. They're allowed to self-inspect. Can you imagine they're self-inspecting? They're going to self-inspect. They're going to tell us whether or not they're doing nuclear. You know, please tell us, Ayatollah, are you doing nuclear? No, we've just inspected the site. No, we're not. We are just, it's crazy what's going on. And then we have the 24-day clause where we take 24 days before we can look. But what a lot of people don't know, before that clause kicks in, it could take it could take forever just to have it start.
the clock. And then on top of everything else, we don't even get our prisoners back. We get nothing. So you look at that stuff. We give them, think of it, we give them $150 billion. $150 billion, and we don't get our prisoners back. And now they'll start, I know exactly what's going to happen. They're now going to start a brand new negotiation to give us our prisoners back. And they've already said, we're not giving 4, we're giving 3. We're 4. And it should have been at the beginning, Alan. It should have been at the beginning. 3 years ago, this is the longest negotiation I've ever seen. 3 years ago, they should have said, listen, before we start, we want the prisoners back. Got to let them go. Okay? Got to let them go. This shouldn't be now. And I mean, it's the art of the deal, but it's so simple. It's not even the art of the deal. It's common sense. It's 101. But we would have said 3 years ago, whenever it started, probably started longer than that. I've never seen anything like it. But 3 years ago, they should have said, we want them back. It's good for you, good for us. You don't want them. We need them. Our people need them. It's going to be easier to make a deal. It's going to be a lot nicer for the deal. And they would have said no. And we leave. Say bye-bye. And then we double up the sanctions, right? We double up the sanctions. And I guarantee you within 48 hours, they're calling back saying, okay, you're going to get the prisoners back. I said, good. Then the next thing I would have said on that deal, we're not giving you any cash. We're not going to give you cash. And they would have said, we want the money. I don't think I've ever said this one before, but it's true. With all that, I wouldn't have given the cash back. They said, we want the money. No, you can't have the money. We'll make a deal, but you can't have the money. Too much, can't have it. We don't have it. We owe $19 trillion. We don't have it. So we're not getting the cash back. They'll get angry. We'll walk up, double the sanctions. They'll say, fine. And then we'll start a negotiation. But the worst thing about it... It's all right. Go ahead, clap. You know, it's funny. I haven't said this, but recently I got a great review on speaking ability. They said he's a good... But they said he's got one problem. His speaking is wonderful and the crowds love him, but got one problem. He speaks through his applause. He says something, everyone goes crazy, and he starts speaking before the applause. And that's because I'm so excited. There's so many things we have to do. I don't have time for the applause. It's true. No, I was thinking about it. And I noticed I was doing it the other day. I was getting these big, beautiful applause, and I'm speaking, and you kill the applause. But I have so many ideas. I'm so excited about what we're doing. I mean, we can actually, and I've just been starting to say it recently, because I've met the people. I've gotten to know so many, we have such incredible people. I really believe we can actually make our country not only great again, but greater than ever before. We have a chance at making it greater than ever before. I really believe that. And I've just started saying it. The people are amazing. All right, enough of that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the questions. Now, y'all don't applaud so much, I got to read the question. All right. First thing I want to say is the role of the president is so important, Mr. Trump. The reason I believe it is, as an attorney general, we're constantly fighting the federal government, and a lot of the things, we do a lot of our fighting in the court system. The president appoints lifetime appointments to the U.S. Supreme Court and the appellate courts and the district courts. And the problem we have is that a lot of times when the president's gone, the appointments that he leaves behind on the bench are there for a generation or more to come. There are 4 members of the Supreme Court who were born in the 1930s, which means the next president could appoint nearly half of the Supreme Court depending on how long they serve. My question to you, Mr. Trump, is what types of people are you looking for to serve on the Supreme Courts, and what would you want to know about them before you put them in a lifetime appointment?
All right, well, I'd want conservative people. You know, there is a chance that the next president's going to get 4 people. I mean, that's a tremendous, you know, that's sort of the luck of the draw maybe, but there is a good chance that would have, you know, it's, in many respects, they're among the most important decisions you can make. And especially when you get 4, you can tip the balance back to where it should be, because the balance now has gotten not so good. And it would be very interesting to see. Number one, I'd want conservative people. I'd want strongly conservative people, but I'd want great scholars. I would really want really smart, you know, we're talking about the Supreme Court. And I would want really great legal scholars. I want people that follow and admire and respect our Constitution because, you know, right? I mean, we have decisions coming down, Alan, where it's like we don't even have a constitution. It's so many decisions are made, and they're so badly made. So a constitution is very important. But we want top of the level up here. We want smart, we want conservative, and we want people that are truly in love with the Constitution.
The next area I'd like to talk about, I guess I got to let him applause first. Executive actions have been a sore point for many attorneys general around the country, Mr. Trump. This president doesn't like to go through Congress. Y'all have all heard of the phone and the pen, right? He's got a phone and a pen. Well, that's not in our Constitution. You have to go through Congress, and the executive branch enforces the rule of law. Oftentimes, this administration has gone around the legislative process, namely Yucca Mountain. All of you for 30 years have been paying into a nuclear waste fund to fund the exploration of Yucca Mountain to be our national nuclear waste repository. Unilaterally, the administration shuttered that after billions of dollars were spent, money that you spent in your utility bills, and said, you keep your nuclear waste states, we'll keep the money. Also, the immigration overreach that the president had last year. Just two examples. Which executive actions of this president do you disagree with the most, and how would you approach the use of the executive order in your administration?
It's such a great question. You know, executive action, most people never even heard of executive. Did anyone even heard? You know, usually you had to get Congress, you had to talk the senators into it, you had to talk your congressmen into it, you had to deal with all the people. You know, it's you have your three branches, and you talk them, and you get something passed, and there's compromise, and sometimes we don't like the compromise, but there'll be compromise. But that's the way the system is supposed to work. And then all of a sudden, I started hearing, oh, well, he tried, he can't do it, and boom, and another one, boom. And you have these executive actions. I don't even think he tries anymore. I think he just signs executive actions. The one good thing about an executive action is that the new president can go in. You don't have to go through Congress. You can just, and he's a great lawyer, you can just go and sign, and it's over, right? It's true. It's an executive action can be, defunded, whatever you want to call it. It can be unsigned so quickly by the new president. So what you do is you go in, and I think probably within the first hour, it could be within about 2 minutes after I take an oath, assuming I'm lucky enough and we get the support and we get out and vote. We have to get out and vote. But I would be getting rid of a lot of them very quickly in the first hour. One of them would be immigration. He signed an executive order where people can just pour in. Now, Alan and a lot of people got very involved with that, and actually, shockingly, not doing badly in court. Isn't that amazing?
We're winning.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
So far.
But I'll make it easier on Alan. You won't have to waste your time in court, because that will be out. That'll be gone. You know, they're appealing it. They'll be appealing it. But you've had some very good luck in court. I would get rid of that. Right now, you know, I was at Laredo, Texas, and the Border Patrol, and they're great people. They really want to do the job. They want to do the job. They're told to stand there, just don't do anything. These are unbelievable people. They called me. I didn't call them. They wanted to have a meeting, and they want to do the job, and they're told, just let them come through. Let them come through. And you see the scenes, you see the pictures. If we don't have a border, remember this, we don't have a country. You don't have a country. And people are coming through by the thousands and the tens of thousands and the hundreds of thousands. We can't let it happen, and we will build a wall, and it's going to be a real wall, believe me. It's going to be a real wall. It's going to be a real wall. And see the way I let you get through that whole thing? I'm learning. But it's going to be a real wall, and walls, look, I always say, we're going to have a door, and the door's going to be a big, beautiful door, and people can come into our country. But they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. They have to go through a process, and they have to come in legally. And if they don't come in legally, we don't want Kate, and we don't want Jamil, and we don't want all of the tremendous crime that's taken place, which turned out to be, you know, Alan and I were talking, when I first announced, I talked about illegal immigration. I never took heat like that in my life. including this week. It was not as strong, nearly as strong. And then within 4 weeks, all of a sudden, I was like the mainstay. Everybody was coming to me. They found out I was right about illegal immigration. And I really thought it was... I actually said, how much longer can I go like this? And then I doubled down. And Rush Limbaugh, who's a good guy, said, I've never seen anybody take heat like him, right? Rush was out and he was going wild. He said he's taken more incoming than any human being I've ever seen. And then he doubled down because I actually had a news conference and announced that I'm right 100%, and it's even worse than I told you. And that was really wild. But within 4 weeks, it was all, and now it's a big topic of conversation. And I think if I weren't in the race, I don't even think they'd be talking about